Shalom, let's study a little Torah this week. It's Parshat Ekev, and we've been learning with Ramban, Nachmanides' commentary. In chapter 8, this wonderful chapter in Deuteronomy, Perek Chet, Pasuk Aleph, verse number 1. Kol ha-mitzvah, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom, tishmerun la'asot. Torah says, and Moses is reporting that God communicated, you should keep all this mitzvah. Kol ha-mitzvah. The word mitzvah is used singularly in order to communicate a larger concept. It's a collective term here. Live according to a mitzvah consciousness could be one of the ways that we understand this phrase. How do you understand this phrase? Kol ha-mitzvah asher anochi mitzavcha hayom. All this mitzvah that I command you this day. We generally know that commandments individually are each a mitzvah, so we might have expected kol ha-mitzvot, the plural. What other way besides a mitzvah consciousness could we translate that term? Ramban has an idea about what might be contained within the phrase. V'ta'am kol ha-mitzvah. Let me give you the reason the Torah used the term kol ha-mitzvah. Lomar af al pi shehizharti etchem b'mishpatim. It's to say that although I have cautioned you regarding the enforcement of judgments, and he's explained to us above that judgments just might mean monetary matters and how to be ethical and how to be righteous with one's money. Gam kol ha-mitzvot tishmerun la'asot. So beyond one's own finances, you need to be careful with all the other commandments that God has commanded us to perform. Ki ba'asiyat kulan, because by doing all of them, tichyun ureviten, you shall live and you shall be fruitful. You shall feel an increase in, I suppose, both material wealth and the ability to give tzedakah, and a sense of life that comes along with doing mitzvot. B'fri veten, u'b'fri behema, u'b'fri ha'adama. And yes, let's delineate what those gains will be in the material world, the material side of life. You'll have children, you'll increase your herds and your flocks, and you'll increase your yield, the fruit of the land. So that if you consider all of the mitzvot and do them, it's not just the ritual candle lightings and prayers and intellectually based mitzvot that go along with our thinking about religious life. It's the actual mitzvot that we need to follow that will allow us to increase our families and create family structures and build homes that are faithful, if you will, to the Jewish people. It's the idea that mitzvot extend even to animal life and to plant life. And not only about tzedakah, shmita, letting the land lay fallow. Even if we learn metaphorically about holy dormancy and letting our thoughts brew and taking a walk outdoors and having a little shmita time in our lives, having a little time that we stop fertilizing and we stop digging and plowing and hoeing and creating the furrows, that we rest and we feel as though the Torah is speaking to us on a spiritual level. The Ramban is saying for the engagement of the land, the animals, the sources of your food, if you come about it through the approach of Torah mitzvot, you'll truly increase the yield. And this is the message of the Torah, that all parts of our lives are impacted through the framework of engagement that God gave to us, and that is the framework of mitzvot, positive and negative commandments. So as you could ask, what's the mitzvah here? What's needed here? What's the mitzvah appropriate to this moment? And whether you have a different definition for kol ha-mitzvah, all the mitzvah, that God commanded, you should do them and make sure that you are vigilant about engaging them. Or you look at it like the Ramban and you say it's about material gain, the family life that you'll build, the resources that you will command. These are various ways that the Torah speaks to our everyday lives and the potential holiness that is bound up with a life relating to Torah and God's commandments. Shabbat Shalom.